Welcome back, Wogglers. So today we're going to be talking about validation rules. A validation rule is basically if there are certain things that you absolutely do not want put as a value in a field, then you can create some validation rules around them. Let's take a use case because that's kind of ethereal, right? So here in Setup, we're going to go into Modules and Fields. And let's take a lead as an example. So we're going to make our validation rule for some fields in the leads. And right up here next to layout rules, in between layout rules and fields, we have validation rules. Let's create a new one. So the first thing it's going to ask you is which field do you want to create this for? So for us, we're going to use country. And then a couple of other things pop up. So the validation type is based on criteria or using a function. Using a function is wildly complicated, and we'll get to that in a different video. So today we're just going to use a basic based on criteria. And then we have a validate on. So we can validate on save. So for example, if you're in the edit screen of a record, when you click save, it will check the value in that field and it will validate it. Or we can do field verify and save, which means that the moment that you type it into that field, it will validate it, and then it will validate it again on save. So you kind of have like a both or a just one. We're going to do a field verify and save. And click next. So now we have our when the field country is filled out, we're going to set criteria and validate the values that we're allowed to put in that field. So we're going to say when the country, we'll just say isn't United States, and click done. So that's the criteria. If in the country field the value is not United States, we can set an alert message. So we'll say we are not licensed to sell outside the US. So that's the reason. So we as a company are not licensed to sell things outside the US, and so we can't sell outside of the US. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to save. All right, so let's see it in action. Let's go over to some leads. We're going to pick our old friend Bast here. So we've been working this lead, talking to them, finding out what's going on. And so now we're going to say we've finally got their address information, right? We're going to say Canada. Yeah, there we go, Canada. And then we can click verify. And it's like, oh no, we're not licensed to sell outside of the US. So I can click verify immediately. It will also do it again if I click the checkbox. So you can't override it because we did it on field and on save. So now we can know, at this point, we can just X this out, call Bast and be like, hey man, I'm really sorry, but we can't sell to you. We can't sell outside of the US. However, if we go into the country and we click United States, check, we get the thumbs up. And that's how validation rules work. See you next time. Woggle woggle.